There's a war going on, and it's a war against short-term rentals.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! And these shields, boys!
No matter how much hotels deny it, short-term rentals have encroached on their territory, and they're feeling the pinch.
Airbnb.
Lay down your weapons! Give them nothing! But take from them everything!
Pre and post-COVID, more and more travelers are choosing Airbnbs over hotels. Can a home renting app really take over a century-old industry? Hotels versus Airbnbs. Who's in the lead and who will be the last on the battlefield? In this video, we're going to be taking a brief look at the ongoing hotel lobby against Airbnb and how it succeeded in the past to a certain extent and how it can never really win. Is Airbnb a threat to the hotel industry? Well, for years, hotel executives have been downplaying the dent Airbnb has made in the hospitality industry. While they acknowledge it is a big player, they fall short on admitting that it's a significant threat. But let's rewind back to 2016 when the New York Times broke a story uncovering how the American Hotel and Lodging Association, AHLA, attempted to rein in Airbnb by lobbying courts for stricter regulations against short-term rentals. It also revealed how AHLA funded studies showing the detrimental effect of short-term rentals on residential communities and how hosts allegedly didn't collect hotel taxes nor follow safety protocols. The Times called AHLA's efforts a multi-pronged national campaign to thwart Airbnb. It said the trade organization had a $5.6 million annual budget for regulatory work and planned on focusing its efforts in the key markets like Boston, LA, Miami, San Francisco, and Washington. It even forged alliances, the Times reported, with various unexpected groups in order to gain traction. Politicians, affordable housing groups, neighborhood associations, and hotel labor unions. So hotels versus Airbnb. And their campaigns managed to succeed in certain cities. In 2019, Airbnb became heavily regulated, restricted, or even made totally illegal in key cities where it was most active. According to iProperty Management, Airbnb's growth either slowed down or halted in some of the platform's top-performing cities. Between 2017 and 2019, listings fell 16.7% in San Francisco and 7.1% in New York City. 2 years earlier, over 10% of all active listings on Airbnb were in New York, London, and Paris. And by early 2020, less than 3% of all active listings were in those three metro cities. Other US cities where Airbnb is now are highly regulated, including Boston, Jersey, Las Vegas, LA, Miami, San Francisco, and Santa Monica. Airbnb versus hotel statistics. But despite the hotels industry's ongoing attempts to destroy the home sharing business, it seems that Airbnb and others like it won't be losing the war anytime soon. According to the latest stats, the hotel industry loses approximately $450 million in direct revenue per year due to Airbnb. Not only that, a study by Florida State University found that aside from eating into a huge chunk of the hotel's revenue, Airbnb is also driving down room prices and occupancy rates. Over 4 million hosts listed onto the platform, which now has over 6 million listings in 100,000 cities and over 220,000 countries and regions across the world. Even if you add up all the properties of the top 5 major players in the US hotel industry, they still don't come close to Airbnb's scale. And the massive supply has significantly affected the hotel's occupancies and room prices. The US vacation rental market was valued at $14.32 billion in 2021, and the American hotel industry is valued more than $1.1 trillion. Yes, you heard me correctly, that's trillion with a T. The company value of Airbnb worldwide in 2021 was $113 billion, up from $75 billion in 2020. It's valued more highly than several of the individual hotel chains, and as of January 20, Airbnb has a market capitalization of over $109 billion, in contrast with Marriott's market cap of $45 billion and Hilton's, which is $30.4 billion. In 2021, Airbnb bookings increased by 55%. It generated $5.9 billion in revenue and a 73% year-on-year increase. The Airbnb market share versus hotels is a hard pill to swallow for the traditional hoteliers. In 2018, research showed that in the 10 cities with the largest short-term rental market share in the US, the entry of Airbnb resulted in 1.3 fewer hotel nights booked and 1.5% losses in hotel revenue. And over the past few years, those losses have continued to add up. Hotel Tech Report estimates that in spite of restrictions, Airbnb is capturing 10 to 12% of travel demand in cities like New York, Paris, and London. Other interesting stats, over 50% of Airbnb's guests choose to stay at an Airbnb Airbnb over a traditional hotel. In Europe, Airbnb is anywhere from 8 to 17% cheaper than a regional's hotel's average daily rate. And in some US markets, Airbnb can be 6 to 17% cheaper than hotels. Over 150 million users have booked over 1 billion stays on the platform, and on average, around 6 guests check into an Airbnb listing every single second. Hotels versus Airbnb during COVID. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, vacation rentals fared a lot better than hotels. At the end of March 2020, the global occupancy in hotels had dropped to 17.5% from 77%, a 77% decrease from the same period in 2019. However, studio and one-bedroom vacation rentals saw occupancies of around 36.4% compared to 66% in 2019. That's a 45% decrease compared to the hotel's 77% decrease. Vacation rentals with 2 or more bedrooms were at 32.6% occupancy, down from 60% in 2019. Again, that's a 46% decrease. Is Airbnb better than hotels? It's generally accepted that Airbnb offers a less expensive alternative to many hotels. An average hotel room provides a bed, a bedroom, and a closet, with varying levels of comfort. Alternatively, an average apartment or studio offers the same amenities, plus a kitchen, a living space, and some include some parking areas as well. Travelers can also enjoy more space. The average hotel room is around 325 square feet, while the average vacation rental spans more than 1,300 square feet. And who doesn't want to spread out and unwind while on vacation? Additionally, Airbnb offers an unlimited amount of options when it comes to the types of locations and accommodations. From couches to castles, igloos to tree houses, no hotel can match the unique stays that are offered on the app, let alone their locations. The future of Airbnb and short-term rentals. In recent years, Airbnb was not just able to strengthen its position in the vacation rental and short-term rental market, but it also widened and consolidated it. And in 2017, it acquired luxury retreats for $200 million, followed by Accommodations, a startup focused on travel accessibility, and a $400 million acquisition of Hotel Tonight in 2019. In 2020, in spite of COVID, Airbnb became a public company via an IPO, raising $3.5 billion. And as we all know, travel started to bounce back in early 2021, and the demand for vacation rentals increased 10% compared to pre-pandemic figures in 2019. Rental revenues even grew by 40%. While business travel has yet to fully recover, family travel and rural destinations has soared. It's up from 32% globally in 2019 to 42% in 2021. There's a rapidly growing market for unique stays too. In 2021, the number of searches for non-traditional homes on Airbnb grew to 94% compared to the previous period in 2019. And the number of unique listings, over 170,000, has also grown 31% in the past 2 years. Due to mostly pent-up demand, Airbnb is enjoying a 37% surge in average daily rates over 2019, driving its revenue 70% higher than in 2021. Even Wall Street is forecasting very positive growth for both the company and the tourism industry. For 2023, financial analysts are projecting revenues of $8.3 billion and even profitability of $1.3 billion. In conclusion, hotels versus Airbnb. Is the battle even worth fighting? Some hotel chains, Marriott for instance, seem to have realized it's not. In fact, they've even decided to adapt and compete with short-term rentals instead of trying to take them down. In 2019, Marriott debuted its Home & Villas by Marriott International, a luxury home-sharing product that targets Airbnb users who prefer high-end properties. It went live with only around 2,000 homes, but now boasts over 20,000 premium properties in 500+ destinations around the world. According to the American Institute for Economic Research, the hotel giant may have finally recognized that the better path was to learn from Airbnb, not destroy it. It says, quote, while the hotel chain is making 6-bedroom villas in Sorrento, Italy available through its new service, as well as an 18th century Irish castle that sleeps 17 and features a private lake, it still has a long way to go if it truly wants to beat Airbnb and all of its luxury rentals. After all, you'll only be able to get Richard Branson's entire island if you have an Airbnb account, unquote. If you'd like to keep up to date with insights and forecasts on the short-term rental and hospitality industries, stay tuned to the Short-Term Sage blog. You can subscribe to our newsletter down below, where we provide you the latest tips and tricks and wisdoms on how to start and manage and scale your own short-term rental business quickly and most effectively. If you like this video about hotels versus Airbnbs, then you'll probably like this video talking about Airbnb versus Turo, which is the better platform to start a business. But let me know your thoughts as well. Do you think that there is going to be a clear winner in hotels versus Airbnb? Would love to be able to know in the comments section down below. And until next time, Host Nation, keep on hosting.